right, so thank you for joining and welcome back to day 2 of the summit. I am Dr. Christy Murray, and I am happy to be the host. I'm also the CEO of Educational Excellence Incorporated, and I will be your illustrious host again today for the summit. But welcome again today, and I'm super excited to get started. So we're going to go ahead and kick it off.
The key with me is no one will outwork me. No one. I love and I respect you guys. You motherfuckers won't outwork me. It all starts with this. 2 hands, putting it to work.
But you cannot erase the work ethic part. There is no getting around. Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs. The elevator don't go to the top, man. Not in the world of success. You gotta take the stairs. Y'all gotta start getting gritty, man. I hate it when I see young people wasting their time, wasting all this technology you got, just sitting around in this world that's been created for you and everything is instant. But if you can combine your technology with your parents and your grandparents' work ethic, you could be rich, man.
Just ask yourself this week, do people know you for your work ethic? Are people like, man, you work hard? Are people actually commenting about you showing up early and staying late? Because if they're not, you're just blending in with everybody else's work ethic. At the end of the day, talent will not win the game. It is work ethic that will win the game.
You gotta get gritty, man. You gotta develop some dog in you. You got to get messed up sometimes. You got to get dirty. You got to get your feelings hurt. You got to get disappointed. You got to get told no. But in order to get the life of convenience, you got to have a very uncomfortable life. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
And you're always going to have haters, and haters are like, well, damn, man, how much are you going to do? Like, you do a lot of shit. I say, yes, it's my ambition. Of course, you got to work every day. It doesn't end. And when shit goes bad and it goes sideways, or you're coming through this injury, or people are writing you off, it should drive you.
If you're going to get it, you're going to have that dog. You got an opportunity. So here's the deal. When you have an opportunity, why would you give 80%, 70%? Why wouldn't you always give 120%? From today on, you play whatever your best game is, you play that level every single time. Every time you practice, you don't care what the circumstances, what the situation is, every single time you give it 120%. It doesn't mean you're going to score every time, but you can always give 120% effort.
All right.
The key is...
All right. So thank you so much again for joining. For those who just entered the Zoom room, again, I'm Dr. Christy Murray, and I'm super excited to be back as your host for the second day of our 2024 Youth, Career, and College Excellence Summit. This event is being recorded, so please know that we will be posting it on the Educational Excellence YouTube channel and making it available to others who weren't able to attend. Also, please mute your line so that we can minimize any background noise and disruptions. We have some great speakers who are joining us today, and I'm super excited to share more about that. At any time, if you want to use the chat feature to post a question or comment, or raise your hand and come off of mute and ask a live question, we certainly welcome that. I also welcome engagement and all of our students turning on your cameras throughout the discussion today so that our guests feel welcome and feel like they're not just talking to blank screens. So we do appreciate their time and energy, so we want to make sure it's worth their while. I always kick off my summits with a video, and today's summit video was really about self-leadership and self-excellence and what does your work ethic look like. So as we're engaging again today, I want you to position yourselves in the mindset of excellence is about you being the best version of you that you can be. It's about you out competing yourself and it's not about you competing with other people. So think about where you are on your educational and career journeys, and think about what you can do to continue to make forward progress in your own life. So with that being said, I also want to remind everyone that the slides from today's session and yesterday's sessions are available on my Educational Excellence website, and so will the recordings. I already posted the recording from yesterday, and the video recording for today will be posted as well. Also, save the date. We also have our date for the 2025 Youth, Career, and College Excellence Summit. So coming up on August 2nd and 3rd, 2025, join us back again. Whether you are a high school student, college student, or a parent, we want to invite you back. Next year will be the 5th year of this summit. And next year I want to raise, so I'm personally committing myself to raise $50,000 so that I can give it back to those who are pursuing their college and career endeavors and who join both days of the summit again next year. So you have to learn and earn to win my scholarship money. You have to attend both days, have your camera on, and also apply for the scholarships to get access to those funds on the second day. So look forward to seeing you back again next year. So what will we cover today? So after I do a day one recap of what we did yesterday, we'll have two esteemed guests come and join us and talk about your voice and your vote matters. So what is your civic and social responsibility in terms of voting? And then we will have a young lady with Right Time Financial join you to talk about money matters for young adults. So we can't escape the fact that, we need funds to get through college. We need an opportunity for great earning potential post-college, and we need to really understand how to maximize our credit score, our resources to be able to increase our earning potential. So let's talk about that today. And then we'll take a brief break, and then we'll set up for a licensed professional counselor to share about self-care and mental health matters. I know yesterday we talked a little bit about breakdowns and stress and other things that affect young adults. So let's talk a little bit more and explore that this afternoon. And lastly, I am happy to wrap up with our closing remarks and to announce the scholarship winners from this year's summit. So let's jump right in and get started. So yesterday we heard from some great speakers, including myself. We talked about careers, we talked about college planning and admission strategies. We also talked about what it takes to get through the financial aid process and scholarships. So please take advantage of the slides from yesterday because they have a wealth of information on both of those topics for you to reference as you're moving forward. We also heard from a U.S. Army retired Brigadier General, Mr. Gillespie, who talked about the Army's ROTC scholarship program. And then Mr. Matt Jordan talked about apprenticeships, how you can earn while you learn and still be on a job working 40 hours a week and still getting the training and development you need in specialized career field areas. So those are two new segments on the summit. And I love to continue to expand those in future ones. And then we ended with a phenomenal panel of young adults who shared their college experience and life experiences with each one of you. And that seemed to be very well received, hearing directly from youth in your age group. So I love that segment yesterday. And there were a lot of great takeaways that I had, and I'm sure you did too, that we can carry moving forward. And then we wrapped up with closing remarks, and I shared more about the scholarship instructions and challenged you all to get your applications in by 10 p.m. last night. So thank you to all those teens who attended both days, are back here today with your cameras on and engaged. That's still a criteria. And then also submitting your application, your scholar profile, your photos, your essays, and more to get access to some of the scholarships that we'll be awarding today. So let me give you a little bit of feedback in my last few minutes. The applications overall were really well done, so hats off to everyone. I just want to remind everyone, when you're dealing with scholarships and anytime you're dealing with any application, whether it's a college admissions application, scholarship, internship, or a job application, get it in by the deadline, ahead of the deadline. Allow room in case you have questions or you experience technical difficulties. So don't wait till the last minute, and absolutely reach out to get help if you have questions or if you have issues that you need to circle around and get help with. And know how to access your important documents, y'all. You should have access to your resume, to any certifications you have, to any transcripts, whether it's high school and or college. You should have unofficial copies of those already saved on your computer at the end of every semester. And then you should know how to get official copies as well from the universities or schools that you have attended. In terms of the scholar profile, there were a lot of instances I saw where there were formatting issues. Things didn't line up. Some things were underlined, some things weren't. Some were bold, some weren't. Then there were grammatical issues. Some of y'all lowercase your last name, lowercase your street address, your city and state. Those are basics we learned in elementary school, proper noun sort of things. So tighten those things up, because those things are very annoying to professionals who think that you have those things already nailed and you do those very well. And then after each one of your employment opportunities, extracurricular and community activities, make sure you add the year. So if you did an activity from 2022 to 2024, put that in parentheses, please, just as example here shows. Also on your scholar profile, if you listed an objective at the beginning for your education, please be specific. It's more helpful if you hand your scholar profile to someone and it reads to obtain a bachelor's degree from somebody's school. It's okay, but it says you're interested in a bachelor's degree, but it is even better to be more specific if you have that information. For example, you want to major in electrical engineering at an HBCU or at Hampton University. As y'all can see, I'm a Hampton grad from my shirt, but those kind of details really help people to be able to connect you with opportunities. Also, make sure that you update your scholar profile at least twice a year, in the summer on your summer break and your winter break. So if you're in college and if you submitted a scholar profile that still had high school activities and high school grades and GPAs, that's a faux pas. Please include your college level activities, your college GPA. Those details need to be updated. And then I saw 2 scholarship applicants who listed their certifications. This is a great addition to a scholar profile. Some of you have certifications already. List those too. So those things are very important. Your essay, make sure that your essay is gonna differentiate you from the competition. This was probably the one area that really differentiated y'all in my scoring. Also, how many of y'all had your essays proofread last night before you submitted them to me? I can tell who did and I can tell who didn't, because I found a bunch of errors, sentence structure issues in some of your essays. And I had just told y'all to make sure somebody other than you looks at your essay before you submit them. And make sure you answer all the parts of a prompt. Sometimes they will ask you a 2 or 3 part question. Your essay needs to address each one of those clearly. Now, the best part about what I saw from your essays was what you learned the most about yourself. And so if you recall, the essay question that you got was to describe an academic challenge you experienced. That's one part. How you overcame it. That was 2 part. And what you learned about yourself. That was the 3rd part. 3 different parts of the essay. And I got some gems, like some of you learned about yourselves that you need to stay true to your strength. State that true strength comes from facing difficulties head on and using experiences to help others. Another one of you said that you learned that comparison is the thief of joy and I simply need to run my race. Someone else said that they learned that having a reliable support group to fall on in times of need was very beneficial to them. Another person said that they learned to put my best effort into everything, not because I'm told to or even expected to, but because I want to. And someone else also said that they learned the importance of resilience and not giving up when faced with difficulties. So there were many, many, many more examples of great things that you all learned. So hats off to you for sharing and being vulnerable. Sometimes you have to be vulnerable to a little extent in your essay writing for people to really connect with you as you share your